Well, it looks like we're live. I hope everybody's doing all right. 3 o'clock got here fast today. It really snuck up on me. But I hope everybody's doing good. And it sounds like it. Got some great projects going over here. Love to hear that. Yeah, the holidays coming up. We need some ideas. My wife and I, we're still at zero. So we're working on that. But also, happy St. Crispin's Day, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, thanks to Dermot Cox Kearns who let us know that. The patron saint of, if not all leather workers, most leather workers. So I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Just got back from New Jersey last night. Went up to see my wife's dad. Well, his birthday, his 90th birthday. We went up to New Jersey. 750-mile drive. Oh man, that's a lot of hours in the truck. But we did two things. We visited with family and we ate. If you're in South Jersey, you eat. And I'm almost to a point where I'm not going to eat for 3 days. That's it. I've got water. I need a good cleansing. But I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. All right. We got some great comments right off the bat. Ralph Morrow. Ralph, I'm glad you're with us. First one in the shop today. Rare Breed. Dean. Hello, Dean. I hope you're doing all right. Let's see. Ralph. 70 and cloudy in Northeast Pennsylvania. Yeah, New Jersey, it was absolutely beautiful. The first 2 days we were there, and then cloud cover moved in, and it got drizzly and cold, but it was so nice. We went to a couple of little local restaurants and ate some good seafood. And anyway, all right. So Rare Breed with us. Let's see. Dean working on a trifold wallet. Nice. Uh, and Ralph, this week's a persons to sell and give us Christmas presents. It looks like somebody's got some discipline and they've already chosen their ideas and they're on it. I'm not in that same boat. I'm sorry to say that. But also, hello to all our friends all over this beautiful world. Come on in, join us if you're new. You're going to be amongst good company and good people. First off, we got to do this. Привет, друзі. And I hope that's at least close. But also, hola amigos, bonjour les amis, allo fronda, minasan konnichiwa, and ciao amici. Everybody, I hope you're doing good. Let's talk about some leather. Got some fun stuff to look at, talk about. This hour is going to go fast. I'm going to try to relax, talk a little bit slower. We've got so much to talk about. It's hard to do that, but nonetheless, we're going to have a good time with it. And it's great to see everybody's name pop up. Just what a blast. What a blast to spend this time with y'all. Let's see. Rare Breed, also looking at my projects for Christmas that are on the table. The good fairies did not finish them while I was at work. Isn't that irritating? Isn't that just irritating? Right? Come on. We could use a little help. Carrie's with us. Hello, Carrie. And Ralph, I need to make a few more stockings. Those are great gifts. Great gifts. Carrie, I was thinking about this the other day. 271 days, no caffeine, no coffee, no caffeine. This coming Saturday will be 9 months. Carrie, I'm just dying to know how you feel. Has it changed how you feel or how you go about your day? I'm interested to hear. I really am because the day does not start without the coffee. It just doesn't happen. Up at the hotel, we were in a nice hotel. Well, we don't stay in the nice hotels. We stay in the reasonable, mid-range. Great hotel. They had an IHOP, they had a pub, and they had a really nice dinner restaurant. But I got up one morning, just couldn't sleep. 5:40, something like that. No coffee anywhere. So I actually drove down to the Wawa. You ever been in a Wawa? I spent a year in Pennsylvania growing up, junior year in high school. And we had one on the corner. It was a convenience store. I didn't think much about it, but man, they've changed. We got a couple of breakfast sandwiches there that were absolutely delicious. Anyway, Carrie, I don't know. Great way to go, but I want to hear how it's treating you physically and mentally. I want to hear that. I've been anxious to know how that's working with you. DS, all right. I'm currently, let's see, batch making. A load of key rings for a local charity, really. Then followed by bookmarks. DS, that's how many wins is that? Very cool. Let's see. Oh, and Rare Breed wore out. Is that right? Wore out a pair of moccasins. Well, you obviously liked them. Yeah, so time to make another pair. Yeah, indeed, I hate that. It's hard to get find good fairies anymore. Yeah, because 'cause they've never appeared in my shop. I can certainly say that. Um, let's see, oh, y'all, great comments here. I'm gonna try to keep more up to date on these. It's hard to do, and I apologize for that. They come in so fast. Uh, oh, look at this, Alye MRC. And please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Hello from Madagascar. I'm honored that you're with us. Come on in and enjoy. Absolutely. You're amongst good friends. You're now of a family of 7,200 people. Chris Gould, Chris, I hope you're doing all right. Let's see, a night for today. Very cool. Y'all seeing some great names pop up. Let's see, David Buswell. Hi, Chuck. Thanks for the stickers. They're so cool. Look really good on my pattern notebook. There you go. Talking about the stickers that we have. Yeah, I've got some on my toolbox. Absolutely. Richard Katzman. Richard, glad to see your name come up. Let's see. Hi, Chuck, and hello to all who have come to see Chuck. Best regards. Richard, it's a pleasure to see your name. Let's see. Yeah, DS, evening, Chris. Hope your wife and pup are well. That's exactly right. Same here. Um, oh, and from Russia with love. Sounds like a movie. Bond, James Bond. But I'm glad to see your name pop up. I'm sorry, I'll have to translate that, but I definitely want to give you a shout out next time we're together. But I'm glad you're with us. Glad to have good friends with us. Uh, let's see, Robert Simmons. Hello, Chuck. What would you recommend for making a weightlifting belt? What cut from veg tan leather and what thickness? Bob, you probably want to go like with a 10, 11 ounce, some that's got a little more body to it. You could always take an 8, 9. I mean, if that's what you commonly have in your shop, take an 8, 9, back it with maybe a 4, 5. That's going to be a big, sturdy belt. Um, cut wise, I might say I love the bellies, but maybe something like a single bend because that's more for the belt folks. It's more as leather go, it's more rectangular, so less waste for the belt folks. But Robert, good. I've never made a weightlifting belt. Been on my mind forever. I've never made one. If you get a good one made, drop it on the fan page. I'd love to see what you do with that. Uh, let's see, Jaka Khan. Very cool. New names, y'all. That's so cool. I'm glad you're with us. Hey, Chuck, do you have any tips for staining or bluing rivets? I have a piece that I want to get an antique look on the rivets, but I'm struggling with finding a decent method. I don't know metals that well. I don't know metals that well. Somebody's probably going to punch in a couple of good ideas for you. Um, what I like to do, and I don't know if this is any help at all, but our Chicago screws have a floral design on the top, and you can hit it with spray paint, wipe it off, and it looks very antiqued. Because that paint will sink down inside that floral design. When you wipe off the surface, it looks pretty good. Cool part about that, you can go with any color of spray paint. So basically, you can go like with a yellow antique or red antique Chicago screw. But Jaka Khan, somebody help Jaka Khan out there. Somebody that's got some good experience with some metal work. Somebody will jump in and help you out. I'm certain of it because you're in the right place. Absolutely. And I'm glad you're with us. Absolutely. Randy Bradley. Well, hello, right back to Oklahoma. Glad you're with us. Uh, yeah, DS, good point for Carrie. Do you drink decaf coffee? Because that's right, that is an option. Do you go with decaf? Let's see. That I'd love to hear on that one. Uh, oh, Jacked Up Leatherworks, Mid Michigan here. Bet it's getting pretty about right now. Boy, the leaves are changing in Jersey, and I mean, it's almost like mid-season. Maybe we came across Virginia. Man, that's a beautiful state. It really is. Uh, oh, okay, Michael Smalley. Michael, always a good question. Can you go over thread and needle sizes and how to know which is used for what? Michael, it's kind of a personal call, but let's start here. I like the 0.8 millimeter Ritza. That's a good size thread. Let's see if I don't have anything at hand. It's a good size thread for most projects. All right, so we're starting there. Working down, we've got a 0.6 millimeter, so proportion. Say we're working on a smaller wallet. I'd go with the 0.6 millimeter so it doesn't look so overly large. Um, if you're bumping up, I don't often use the 1 and the 1.2 millimeter, but say like a weightlifting belt or saddle or tack, I would jump up to that. That's a nice, big, thick thread. I like the point 0.8 millimeter. It's a little bit larger for most projects. Well, maybe I wouldn't say that. I want it to be very visible. We go to a lot of trouble to hand sew our projects. Well, actually, we don't, but don't tell anybody that. But I want that stitch very prominent. It looks really good to me, especially with like a bright white thread. So I might say start with the point 0.8 millimeter and then fine tune to whatever your preference is. On the needle, I like the 18 millimeter. I know I'm starting to get my points and my 18s mixed up. The 18, it's not an 18 millimeter. That would be a big needle. But the size 18 John James needles, they're my favorite. The next two up, to me, they're like telephone poles. I mean, if you're really doing something big, you got to have a big hole with those. I don't, let me see, I might have some right here. I don't know how much of a help this is going to be, but I've got the three sizes right here, just on some tape. So down here, I don't know how well we can see that, but that's the 18, the size 18. I'd have to look, but I think it's a 16 and a 14. I'd have to look because I rarely ever use those because that is one big needle. But if you're sewing something big and thick, something serious, that might be the best way to go. So my advice there was to start with the point 0.8 millimeter thread and the number 18 John James, get a feel for them, and you'll work your way out from there because it's all personal preference. It really is. It's entirely up to you. But with the threads, particularly, to me, proportion plays a lot into that. I don't want a really big, thick thread on a very small project. But again, personal call. Um, oh, Chris Gould. Okay. Here in England, we change our clocks this weekend, 29th, put back an hour. I think we do too. I haven't really been paying attention. I don't care. Just tell me what time it is and I'll go with it. Right? But we've talked about going, I think, to straight daylight savings time. Is that right? And I think the federal government has to determine that. But to me, well, some statistics came up that I'd never really heard. Like, if it's dark during drive time, well, there are more accidents and crime is a lot higher in the dark. Particularly for like convenience stores, crime goes up so much higher after dark. So that's a couple of the things that they take into account. But I'm good with it either way. Yeah, y'all just tell me what we're doing and I'm fine. Right. So anyway, but Chris, thanks for letting us know on that. Uh oh, night for today. Again, good to see your name pop up, waiting on some product. Um, oh, Dean, go to antique copper rivets. Whoa, I think we've got six finishes. Yeah, we've got six finishes. We've met in rivets. Oh, the copper. They're beautiful on a brown, like say with our crazy horse. That is gorgeous. So Dean, thanks for pitching in on that one. Um, let's see. Dennis Volpe came here for my dose recuperation and refueling in leather. Dennis, I hope you're doing all right. I might have missed a comment here, and I apologize for that, but I hope you're doing all right. Shlomo, I hope you're doing all right. Bless your heart. Best live stream on. I hope. It seems a little disjointed here, right? A little. Sometimes things detach. Yeah, and right. So anyway, but I hope it's worth your time. I really do. Cade Watkins, nice. Oh, let's see, tooling tips. Kate's got a question on what are some tooling tips? All kinds. Here's mine. Take something that someone would normally tool and blow it up. Just increase the size 50, 75%, and then slowly, because that'll give you a chance to try to get a feel of your swivel without trying to make these super tight little turns and like little tiny inside corners. That can be very frustrating and it may get you off of tooling. I hope not, but start simple and start big and just work your way. I would say start with your swivel, and I like the 3/8 inch flat blade, the hollow ground. That's my all time favorite. But start easy and start slow. Um, I would say with a swivel, I like a smooth bevel. Maybe work on your smooth bevel and maybe a backgrounder. There's all kinds of designs in the backgrounders, but pick one that you like. And I would say get the pear-shaped backgrounder because I use that about 99% of my backgrounding is done with the small pear shape. Those three tools and you're rolling. You're gonna make some beautiful stuff. So I hope that'll get you started, but just be a little persistent. It's gonna take a minute to kind of get the feel of the swivel. Just give it a little time. You're gonna be doing beautiful work in no time. I promise. And if you're not, you can tell me, right? Tell me that Chuck, you were wrong. But I don't think I'm gonna be wrong in this situation. But Cade, all told, have fun with it. That's the biggest point. If you have fun with it, you are not going to believe the stuff that you can do. Um, let's see. Susan Emma's with us. Very cool. Oh, Ironclad Aussie. Good day from Western Australia. Hello. A big hello right back to our friends in Australia. I want to see every square inch of Australia. I do. I got my Google Maps, or not Google Maps, Google Earth. Man, and Outback Truckers. I'm addicted to that. I really am. I love those guys. If you take nothing else away from that series, it just we're gonna make it happen. That's all it is. We're gonna deliver this load. I don't care what it takes. That I love watching that show. But I'm glad you're with us. Nonetheless, I'm glad you're with us. Uh oh, look at this. Doug Mule. And I hope I'm saying that right, Doug. My son's weightlifting belt is almost half-inch thick. Ooh, that's a lot of weight. Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely go up to say something like a saddle skirting because you gotta have some good weight. Um, some good mass to that too. Some good support. That's actually the purpose of a weight belt is support. So yeah, I might back off from the 10 to 11 and maybe go up to 13, 14, 14, 15. But again, you can if we don't typically have those weights in our shop. Um, so I might say, an 8-9, maybe 8-9, back to back. That's going to be a very big, thick belt. That might be a little too much. But if it's what we have, it's what we have, right? Because a lot of us crafters, we don't have the full array of weights in our shop. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. But the budget says no, right? The budget says no. But Doug, thanks for pitching that in. Absolutely. Oh, Moby Brickflix is with us. Moby Brickflix. See, I'm not, anyway, Moby Brickflix. There we go. I got to slow down. I feel like we've got so much to talk about. I got to talk fast to squeeze it all in. We don't. We've got time. We've got time. So let's see. Oh, look at all the comments are just flowing in, y'all. Thank you for that. How very cool. Uh, Oh, look at this. Carrie got me an answer there. Chuck, I shared how my no caffeine journey now and I have so much more energy without coffee and can sleep okay. That is that's a big point. That's a big hotel rooms. The hotel had very comfortable beds. It was a great hotel. I just don't sleep well in hotels. I get a couple of good nights sleeps, but the first night you get there, I don't sleep. The night before I got to travel, I don't sleep well. So, Carrie, that's actually a very valid point there. Uh, Istvan Boros, I'm glad you're with us. Glad you're with us. There's nothing better than sitting in front of my computer, and listening to Chuck while sewing my leather belt. Nice. Oh, if you're not familiar with the fan page, put a pic up. I'd love to see your work. Istvan, I believe I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not. But yeah, drop that up on the fan page. Uh, let's see again from Russia. I'm so sorry I can't translate that while we're on the live, and it makes me feel terrible, but I'm just learning how to work with leather. Your videos are very useful. Oh, let's see. Israel. Israel. I'm not going to butcher your name. That would be rude. I'm glad you're here, though. And that's all that matters. It really is. Very cool to see your name pop up. And I'll say hello next week. I promise. In fact, I want to make a note of that just so it doesn't get lost in the 2-week interim. There we go. Because that's an important point. I want to be able to do that. Let's see. Stoic the Fast. I'm just asking the expert. Oh, let me just see if I can't back up and see if I find your question. I'm sorry about that I missed it. Uh, oh no, James Seckington, water heater went out today. Oh no. Oh, James, I'm sorry to hear about that. That's crucial. Excuse me. Oh, I hate to hear about that. I'm always worried about ours. I don't know how old it is, James. Hope you can get that knocked together fast. Um, let's see. I'm just not seeing that, and that kills me because when I go back through these later today and then 2 weeks from today, it's like, I can't believe I missed that. Or somebody asked a question 3 or 4 times and I never see it because we've got so many comments. But y'all, thanks. It means more than you know. It really does. Uh, yeah, okay. Black Pine Leather Company is with us. Very nice. Answering a question too. Y'all, thanks for answering questions and helping out. It's impossible to get to everybody. So it's, you know what? Everybody benefits from your knowledge. And that's I think the biggest point of this. I really think so. Orange Ranger finally made it to the stream. Greeting from Ireland. Greeting right back to Ireland. I'm glad you're with us. Nice. Let's see, Ryan, Chuck, can I get signed merchandise? I crave reminders of your presence in my vicinity. Ryan, that really means more than you know. It really does. Yes, I'll talk to the boss about that. We'll see if we can do that. Um, we've talked about just her sending me a bunch of hats, that I can sign and send back when somebody requests something like that. But I think we just talked about that around the Waco show, which was like mid-August. Let me ask the boss about that. The boss, my English sucks. Words are they're leaving. Anyway, I'll talk to the boss with no T about that, and we'll see if we can get that lined up. So we'll see what we can do. Uh, uh yeah, Kevin Paul, bless your heart. I hope you're doing good. Oh, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis Volpe. Stoic asked about what ounce for a Western gun belt. I'd say start with an 8 to 9, but line it. Give it a good liner. Any chrome will do. Most likely, hold on, sorry. I would say line it with a suede, because if you use an 8 to 9, typical suede's like a 3 to 4, maybe. That's going to give it 11, 12, maybe 13 ounce. It's a good sturdy weight, and it feels like it's a sturdy gun belt. So 8 to 9, again, we have mostly we have that in our shop, but we could line it with just about anything that's say 3 to 4, maybe 4 to 5 ounce, something in there. That's going to make a gun belt that feels good. It's going to be sturdy and it's going to be durable. See if that helps. I think mine still on the list to do. That's actually coming up here soon. A full rig gun belt. But I typically would go, I think probably for the video, an 8 to 9 with a 3, 4, 4, 5 liner. I think you're going to like the weight of that. It's going to feel good. But yeah, again, Dennis, thanks for helping out there. There we go. I'm going to try to stay a little more current on this. We got a couple of things to talk about today, like, notes from the boss. The one thing I do want to do is for the new folks. Y'all, sorry about that, talking too fast. Bill Loudon. Bill, you've got a good question there. Why is there little content showcasing refined luxury style leatherwork? As we were aiming more towards Western style. Bill, that's an excellent question, actually. I don't have a great answer, but the Western end of it, it's kind of more the tooling and the stamping. That's kind of more where we somewhat got our start, in the West, the saddle and tack. And I think with the higher end luxury stuff, you're right. We don't see a lot of that. And I don't have a great answer there. Because in all honesty, my work is not that level. the high-end stuff, my work is not there. That may be a part of it. The companies that do the real high-end stuff, that's not their business to tell everybody how to do it. They probably kinda keep those things close. I've seen a video or 2 on one of the higher end companies, and I can't remember who it is, but it's one of the biggies. We'd know the name, but they showed a guy hand sewing their wallets, and he was using a pricking iron. Had to be like 10 stitches per inch. Hand sewn. Absolutely. But let's see if we can't work more in that direction because I need to step my leather work up. And when y'all say, hey, we need to see that, I'm going to figure out how to do it. So that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. We'll work on that. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Tammy, Ramatko. Tammy's got a good question. And anybody jump in that's got some good answers here. What is the preferred method for resist out there? Tammy, that's a tough one. Mainly because the resist never works as well as I think it should. It doesn't resist as well as I think it should, but yeah, there's a but. Some of them like the pro resist, that it works pretty good, but you've got to paint on multiple coats. Like with most of them, the RTC Sheridan's a good one. That's pretty good. But with most of them out there, you got to paint multiple coats. You got to drop a coat, let it dry 24 hours, drop a coat, dry 20, 3, 4, 5 coats. That could take a week. Um, I don't use resist. Here's my alternative is to dye in your like let's say, I know I'm going all out here and I hope this even makes sense. But say we're going to do a large piece that's got a tulip piece in brown and the balance is black, okay? So instead of resisting that area, what I'll do is I'll dye the whole piece brown and then paint in the black dye. If you've got a swivel cut, you'll be amazed if you use a little paintbrush just to hit the edge around that swivel line, then come in, like, say, with a dauber or a sponge and work out from there. It's going to be beautiful. Um, a rifle sling video. I know that one's got a rifle sling with a brown basket weave with a black outside. See if that helps. To me, that's the perfect answer. I never have issues with that. Yeah, it's a long way around the barn, but I just don't use resist because they just don't do what I think they should. Yeah, I want them to totally resist and not have that dye sink down in the cracks and crevices and stamps and swivel lines. It can look pretty good. It kind of looks like a resist or an antique. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm looking for. So if you get a chance, try painting in some dye. I think you'll be surprised at how easy it is and how good it looks. It really does. But thanks for the question. But also, anybody that's got a good opinion on this, drop it in there because I am not the expert. In fact, when we first started out, they had an Ask the Expert column. That made me so nervous because the more I learn, the less I know about leather. It really, like talking to the folks at Fibings. Here's one note. Okay. It's pronounced Phoebings, and that's straight from the horse's mouth. Just think of it as Fee Bings, right? That's straight from Phoebings. It absolutely is. I've probably called it both names my whole life, but officially it's Phoebings. Anyway, talking to the guys at Herman Oak at Phoebe, there's so much out there I will never know. And then looking at like Daniel Reach and Jim Linnell and Peter Main, man, there's so much out there I will never know about leather. So it makes me a little nervous, to say, ask the expert. I always say, well, when we find one, we'll ask them. So, but anyway, y'all drop in any good advice that you have. That's the point of this. Let's share some knowledge. So let's see, DS. Dean, luxury leatherwork is charging 1,000 more than its true value. Not hate, just messing. That's okay. And Tammy, yeah, thanks everyone. Absolutely, y'all make this what it is. Jessica Solesi, hello from Sweden. Uh, Good to have Sweden in the house. Very nice. Let's see. I would love to see you guys do a halter for horses or other leather work for horses. Jessica, you're exactly right. And we need my wife rides. We own a horse. She rides English. I really am not happy about that. I don't do anything English. Now, Western, she's talked about doing some Western dressage, which is a Western slant on dressage, but she hasn't gotten there. But Jessica, we'll get that on the list. But thank you for bringing it up. Thank you for being here too. Big hello to Sweden. Glad you're with us. Let's see. We've got people answering questions here. I'm not going to jump in there. DS, let's see, Chuck, is it possible to add the Facebook fan page as a link in the video description? A few people keep asking about that. Let's ask the boss on that one. I don't know. I think it's a tech issue. I don't know. I'm not sure, but let's ask the boss on that one. We'll see what she says. Sorry, y'all. I haven't talked in a week. I mean, I have, but just not like I'm working on videos. Let's see. Oh man. Scenariel. Skineriel. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Let's see. Hi, love your videos. Thank you for that. More than you know. Really, thank you for that. What is your best suggestion, please, for an affordable sewing machine for leather? Weaver 303. You can get a new one. It's going to be, I don't know what the price is right now. I'd have to look at the website. But buying a new machine, you can go used. And I've had a Conso, I've had a Singer. You can find them used. They're industrial machines. The problem with a used machine, they're set for production shops and they are set to 4,000 stitches a second. I can't sew with them. And a lot of these are coming with old clutch motors, which are impossible to work with. Hard to set your speed. The Weaver servo motor, absolutely. So you can get this down to about 1 stitch every 2 seconds. The point there, I have total control over my sewing. Not to me, I know I keep looking at it because it's right there. It's easy to thread. It's actually got an oil pan in it, which draws oil to all the points. Now you have to drop oil in a couple of small areas. The big point is it's so easy to thread and it's so easy to maintain. And if you get it new, it's ready to go. It is literally ready to go. Oh, and you get a whole box of extra stuff with it. All kinds of cool things. But if that's out of the budget, look around for a good Conso. The other one I mentioned, it was never my favorite, but the Conso is a pretty good machine, but you can't beat a Weaver 303 straight out of the warehouse. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. So see if that helps a little bit. I hope it does. But another point to that, get your machine and dive in. I keep working on a video that I don't know if I've got a great title for it. Jumping up to an industrial leather machine is not as scary as it seems. Okay, I'm going to work on that title, but that's a video that's on the board that I'm working towards. Just to give everybody that, because when I was new at it, industrial machine, no way. You won't believe how easy these are. It's not like your home machine where you've got 500 different stitch patterns and you can do all. It's a very straightforward machine because that's what a production shop needs. They're not looking for all the fancy zigzags and whatnot. They simply need to sew a stitch. That's the point of an industrial machine. Now you can get the machines that will do all of that. They're $10, $12, $15,000. For us crafters, we don't need that. We just need something simple. So see if that kind of went off on a rant there, but see if anything in there helps you out. Yeah, okay, Spastic Geek. There we go. Thank you for filling us in there. Yeah, thank you, Spastic Geek. Yeah, there we go. There's a good answer. Good answer. Josh, yeah, it's going to take some time to afford a $2,000 to $3,000 machine. The Weaver is a half or a third of that. The 303 is a half or a third of that. As good industrials go, very reasonable from what I've seen out there. Yeah, Spastic Geek. Thanks for jumping in. That's really not my end of it. I am really not the tech side of it. Let's see. Yeah. Brizzy Kaminku. I'm sorry, I have trouble with that one. Please forgive me. I started lessons on a machine sewing recently. First impression is it should go dur, 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 not dur. That's the point. That's, I'm glad you put that in there because that nails it. That's exactly right. Ah, that's exactly right. Okay, let's do this because the time is ticking, isn't it? All right, for the new folks, we like to help out the new folks. And this is one I get a lot of questions on work surfaces. What am I doing? Okay, it's as easy as this. There are three surfaces that we use. Four, and we'll talk about that. Am I holding up four? Right. So, right off the bat, this is called our Poundo board. It's a rehealable board. I love this because our blade sinks in a little bit. So, therefore, you get a very clean cut. Um, Now it says rehealable board. It's not. Now I know the boss is going, don't say that. This will last. I mean, look at it. This has lasted me for years. But eventually, what happens, and everybody will go, oh, yeah, that makes sense, is most 90% of our cuts are either vertical or horizontal. So we start to get this little checkerboard pattern. Then little pieces start to come out. Then it's shut. But it's not terribly expensive. And we sell these in the 12 by 24s. The second, well, actually, let's stay right there because this is a good point. The Poundo board, love it. Use it all the time. But with plywood, I have used plywood probably until I started Weaver. I used plywood to cut on for so many reasons. Well, first off, we could get just about any piece at a hardware store. They always have smaller. This looks like a 2 by 2. I guess a 2 by 2 foot piece. I don't know, it's like $8 or something like that. Now prices on lumber have gone up, but I think they're working their way back down. But plywood is great because first off, like a 3 by 6 or a 4 by 8 foot piece, I would typically get them to cut it down. Like at the big box stores, the big hardware stores, they'll cut for you. And typically they don't charge me to cut, like if you got two cuts. So I'll buy a 4 by 8, cut it down to a 3 by 6, which is what my table size is. The two pieces left over, perfect. Well, we'll look at one here in a minute. But with this, what I can do is typically I'll cut always on this side of my table, never touch the bottom side or the other side. Well, when this gets chewed up, let's flip it around. Now we've got a brand new side. When that side gets chewed up, let's just flip it over completely. So basically, we have at least four sides for cutting. Um, Now the plywood, it's not great for a couple reasons. First off, again, our vertical and our horizontal cuts, oh boy, that really chews up the plywood because again, those little chunks of wood start coming out. And when your board gets really chewed up, all those little pieces of wood start sticking to your leather products. It becomes a real headache, but it's inexpensive and we can find it most anywhere. Um, Next up is our poly board. Let me get that out of the way because we're coming back to that guy. This is our poly board. Now we can use this for cutting. Absolutely. It's just a polyurethane board, but use this for punching all of our oblongs, round ends, English points, round holes. Let's punch on this because the tool, particularly our chisels, the tool can sink into this a little bit. So therefore, we're not trashing our tools. I've used the same set of chisels since I started at Weaver, and I've actually rubbed the chrome off of one. Yeah, I'm not sure what the inner material is, but I've actually rubbed the chrome off of my one time. But make sure we punch on this. That'll keep us from tearing up our tools. The last one, and this is our quartz, because the marble, quartz marble, this is to a leather shop what a campfire is to a campsite. We're going to do all our tooling, all our stamping. We're going to set all of our rivets. Here's the best part. So with our punch board, if we're going to punch, let's take our punch board. Can we see that? Right there. Okay. But when we put that on there, that is slippery. What a headache. Okay, try this. Just put a piece of scrap leather. Suede's great because it's got grip, but just most anything will work. Let's drop this on our marble. And then Let's drop our punch board on that. Now it's not going to slide around. It's going to suppress the sound a little bit, but not really enough to worry about. But make sure you put a piece of leather between your punch board and your marble. That'll keep it from sliding around. Absolute world of difference. Now, one other thing we want to make sure when we're punching, we've got our poly board on top of our quartz. I am not pointing fingers here. That piece, no, it's the one in my weaver shop, has a 4-tine chisel in it. Somebody wasn't paying attention. I can't believe I did that. As much as I go on about this, I can't, it's going to happen. But just do your best to make sure you're punching on your poly, on your marble. Now, the last one, and the reason I said the plywood, because when you get those extra pieces, like say you get a piece cut down, take one of those and let's just make a mobile die board. If we're working a small area, this actually is the paper that our leather comes in when you order some leather. So thank you for that. Thanks for the business, but it's a good packing paper. So basically, we just created a mobile die station, right? So we can lay our dyed products on that, and then we can take them outside or take them to the garage, let them dry there because that's where all our fumes are going to come from. So if you dye something and you put it on your board, take it outside to dry, then immediately do your cleanup. Dye back in the bottle, clean out your bin. The fumes, they'll be gone in no time. Yeah, you won't even smell those. So that's our 4 work surfaces. I mean, I hope for the new folks that is a big help because I get a question on that all the time. All right, let's jump back over here. Oh man, Spastic Geek, yeah. Oh, Spastic Geek. Something I think would be a cool idea for Weaver do carry would be custom cutting mat sizes, not poundo, but cutting mats. I have a 4 by 8 foot bench. I want to cover with a giant cutting mat. No kidding. And here's something I've always wanted to do and have yet to do it because of the cost. The poly board. Oh, it's under my quartz. We know what I'm talking about. At a restaurant supply, they sell those in 4 by 8 foot sheets. They'll cut them down for you. Yeah. So you can get 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch because the chefs use that right on their line, on the chef's line. I have always wanted to buy a 3'6" piece of that and just put it right on top of my cutting table. How cool would that be? Okay. The reason I have not done that, it's about 10 or 12 bucks a foot. Yeah. So, right, 3 times 6, 18, 180. It's like 200 bucks. But what a great surface to have on your table. Can't afford it, but it's always a dream. But Spastic Geek, that's a great idea. And to everybody, if you've got a good idea for Weaver, put it up here. The boss is going to see these. She's always watching these. Absolute. That's why I got to watch. Right. Right. No, but she'll see these too. So great ideas. Drop them in. Absolutely. Our best ideas always come from customers. Always. Uh, yeah. Nightbird answering in there. Um, yeah, the self-healing mats, they're great. They're not always self-healing, but I love them. I love them, and I've got them on both of my tables. I used to cut on the plywood. Now the plywood's hard on your blade, and a new piece like we were looking at, you get a really clean cut. The problem is over a while, all those cuts really start to ding that plywood. Here's the worst part, though, and anybody that's cut on plywood, you're cutting along, and you don't lift your knife perfectly, and you feel that little blade snap off. That piece is stuck in that wood. Well, it's not really an issue until you cut across it, and it will absolutely destroy whatever blade you're working with. Um, Gary, bless your heart. Thank you for that. Oh, Doug, old rubber conveyor belts work good. I've heard that somewhere along the line. I think I've heard somebody mention that. Um, no, that's exactly right. The notes from the boss. Are they flat or sharp? Carrie, keeping a good smile on her face. That's good. Very nice. Uh, let's see. Scenario. Do you have a video of the must-have for leather making for beginners? Yes, we do. And I think we've got several. We've got several, but one just comes to mind because, and I don't know the name of it. You'll be able to find it because it's just a little fold over wallet kind of pouch. But anyway, we just simply cut it and rivet it together. Then we cut it and we sew it together. Then we rivet, then we add like groove. It's a progression of what we can do just starting with the most basic of tools. See if you can find that, but I've done so many of them. Now, it's hard to recall all that we've done, but just look through on our YouTube page, go to videos and then search beginner. And I think all of those will jump up to the top. But to see if those help, see if those work for you. Um, Lane McCulloch is with us. Lane, it's good to see your name pop up. Oh, Lane. Yeah, now's a good time to mention that. Now's a very good time to mention that. I got black on my hands from my dye board. Oh, now it's on my pants and my hoodie. But Lane, yes, absolutely push that one because I really want to do that. Oh, let's see. Look at this. Amateur Radio South Africa. Very cool. I just started making some leather things. Just wondering, what is the best thickness for making something like a bifold wallet? That's actually an excellent question because it's probably not the answer you think. The problem with a wallet, with a bifold or a trifold, is that if we use leather that's too heavy, it's going to stack up on us fast and it's going to get too thick. I might say, go with a 3 to 4 for your exterior and maybe a 2 to 3 for your liner in your pockets. We're just trying to keep that leather on the interior a little bit lighter. It's not under a lot of stress. Well, that's my best friend from way back. His wallet's like that thick. Okay, away from that, right? Most of the pockets don't have a lot of stress to them, so a lighter weight isn't that big of an issue. But it keeps those wallets from stacking up too fast. That's the biggest problem. So I might say three to like a biker wallet, something like that. Maybe a 4 or 5 exterior, 3 4 interior, bifold, trifold, maybe a 3 4 exterior, 2 3 interior. See if that helps. I think that's a good call. You might could even jump down to a 1 2 ounce. The only problem I have with a 1 2 is that when we dye it, like if we use a natural veg, um, it really retains that dye, and it typically seems to be a little bit darker. I don't know why. Might have to ask the guys at Feebings why that happens. But the very thin leathers, I have a hard time with those. I have a hard time dyeing those and getting it to dry out to a consistent lighter color to me. I need to ask them on that one, and I absolutely will. I know we've got all kinds of content for the next time we get together. Um, let's see, small caliber arms review. Do they still make a veg tan pig suede? I can't imagine not. Somebody out there, yeah, because we've got the pig, but it's the hair cell dyed. I think we've got 4 colors. It's a great liner, very thin. It's like a 1.5 ounce. But the pig suede, I don't know. Somebody out there has got to have it. That's a good question. Let's see. Let's see. JR time. I know these are jamming. Thank you. They're jamming by fast, but JR time. Chuck, do you have any tips for keeping braiding using lace straight? Braiding some of Weaver's deer skin lace and it kicks left and right in several places. I don't know what that's doing. I don't know why. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer on that one. I don't know on that one. I'm not visually picturing it, what it's doing. If somebody else, because I love the deer lace. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love the deer lace. In fact, we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Um, I don't know why that would be. If anybody's got a good answer for JR time, answer that one because that one's going to make me nuts. That one's going to make me nuts. Email us. Take a picture of it and email us at the companies at the Weaver website. We've got an email there, just a generic email. Say it's, hey, this is for Chuck. And it'll get to me. Yeah, see if that will help. But Amateur Radio South Africa, really appreciate the detailed answer. It is my pleasure, and it's my pleasure to see your name pop up. Sometimes I tend to roll on these, walk off into the woods and never come back, and I hope I didn't do that, but hopefully that's a good answer. But again, you'll kind of work with a couple of different weights. And for the new folks too, this is a good point. Typically in my shop, I keep an 8 to 9 ounce and a 4 to 5 ounce. Pretty much do anything with those. 8 to 9, good belt weight. 4 to 5, good pouch weight. We can always make a cool little fold over wallet with that too, with the 4 to 5 ounce. Um, but where I'm going with this, and I can't I actually believe I remembered where I'm going with this. Again, we've met. Is that as you work with the leather, you'll start to fine tune what you like because you'll make a project and you'll think, geez, the leather on that was a little too heavy. It didn't bend as easily. Or over here, the leather's a little too light on that. It doesn't feel durable to me. Simply by doing that, you're going to start to figure out exactly the weights that you like to use. It's a learning process. It really is. But it's kind of fun too to experiment with the different weights. Um, let's see. I know, man. Is it 3:51? I looked at it, it was 3:35. I'm like, yeah, cool. We got plenty of time. Let's slow down. Let's relax. Like, crap. Anyway, okay. All right. So, all right. Upcoming videos. I think we've got some good ones coming up. I'll leave that up to y'all to decide. But we're just going to tease this one because I can't wait. So, I've got some green, forest green, and red suede. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to make something fun for Christmas out of this. We've also got another one coming. We got something coming for Santa. He's always giving us right. Time to give something back to Santa. We got a good one coming up there. But hopefully we've got not working. Hopefully we've got some good videos coming up. But again, I'll let y'all decide that. All right, but I'm working hard back in the shop, working on some good videos. Okay, y'all kibitz amongst yourselves here. I'm going to go over to some housekeeping duties here, right? I'm going to keep my job. Fan page, we got to mention this. Fan page. Got to do shout outs for everybody there. Paul Isink is using a Daniel Reach dragon pattern, and he's made a top hat with this. Damn. Okay, I'm not a hat person. I think that's going to make me reconsider because, let me tell you, Paul, nice work on that one. Jeremy Johnson has got an SD card case. What a great project for using up scrap. Very helpful. I use the SD cards on my camera because I record to card, then I take my card to my computer and edit from that. I love those. I absolutely do. So Jeremy, nice project, nice point. Van Kirkland, Van, nailed it. Okay, Van's new to leathercraft. It's got a buck knife. Couldn't find a sheath for it, so he made one, and it just looks great. Van, you did a great job on that. But also, that brings up a great point, Van. Thank you for posting that. Inspiration. That's how a lot of us get into leathercraft, and that's how a lot of us excel in leathercraft because we're making projects for ourselves. We look at it and think, wow, it came out pretty nice, but I could make it better. And you're on your way. So, Van, great post on that one. Verna Coley. Verna's got some great ideas for scraps here. An incense tray, a candle cover with a filigree cut. Love it. That is absolutely beautiful. And I just have to say, out of scrap, Verna, doing some beautiful work there. Adam and Bella Farner got to meet y'all. Bella has made a castle. I'm not kidding. A castle out of leather. That's all I'm going to say. Jump over to the fan page because you got to see this one. You got to see the pics and you got to read the post. Warms my heart. It really does. And Sang Park has got a wallet that's absolutely beautiful. Sang, I love the color. I love your color choice there. Okay, so notes from the boss. Let's do this. And I just see the comments blowing by. Y'all, please forgive me for not being able to look and comment on every one of these. I missed so many questions. I missed so many shout outs and hellos. Let's see, Jaka Khan. Oh, Jaka Khan. I like that. The fan page is on Facebook. It's the Chuck Dorsett fan page. Join the crowd. You are going to be most welcome. You absolutely are. You'll have a great time with great people. Let's see. Yeah, Ralph, we're not gonna. I was hoping that one. I was hoping that one faded into the white noise. Evidently, it hasn't. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay Ralph not to mention that again. You're gonna have to pay Ralph in a piece of leather. I think that's the only way to make that one go away because it ain't happening. Anyway, okay, excuse me for a second. I know talking, yeah, talking. Uh, oh, okay. Anyway, uh, oh yeah, Black Pine Leather Company. Thanks, Chuck. Bella would be thrilled to see this. I'll replay the live for her when she gets home from school. Please do, because that is so cool. That is so cute. That is so cool. All right. Okay, so notes from the boss. Running out of time here. All right, right now we are offering 15% off of the Mighty Wonder 4-ton clicker and the beginner's leather crafting kit with promo code flash sale. Am I just getting to the point where I'm too lazy just to finish the word? Is that what's happening here? Yeah, great person to be in this seat. Oh, good English. Let's see. Okay. Look for some, that's great. Look for some scary good savings starting on Saturday through our website and social channels. And last one, Black Friday deals just around the corner. So be on the lookout for those starting next week. That's the time to get leather. Approaching November and approaching Black Friday, that's the time because the discounts. For us crafters, that's the biggest point. We can get some leather, and a bottle of dye for the same price we would have gotten the leather for 2 weeks ago. So, y'all, everybody look for the website, on the Weaver website for all the sales coming up. Um, let's see, 356. You know what? We've got a product of the week here. Let's just talk about that briefly because it is, I think it's one of the best inventions in leathercraft in a millennia. The Permalock needle. If you've ever tried to lace with a split back needle, it's a bit on the frustrating side, isn't it? I've used one for about 1 minute. Okay. Thus enters the Permalock needle. Okay. Best part about this is a little brass tube, small point on it, threaded hole in the back. Because what we can do now, let's take this piece of leather, let's cut a little taper on that. And let me see, let me get all of that out of my hand because we need to talk about sizes on these. So what I'm going to do, we've got a taper on that. I'm going to put that in and I'm literally going to screw that down onto that piece of leather. This is our Latigo lace and I'll explain. We've got sizes on this, but just screw that down. Look at that bite. That thing absolutely bites. Now, once in a while, it's going to pop off. It happens because we're probably for lace and we're going distance, right? When it does, what I'll do is let's take that off. Let's back off a little bit, cut a new taper because once we lace with this, once we screw this in, yeah, it'll screw down in there nicely. That's just going to get soft. So back off an inch, cut a new taper, and then screw it on, and you're on your way. Like I said, the best invention in leathercraft ever. So multiple sizes here. So we've got our smallest. This is almost the one I use all the time because I like to do like the Spanish basket weave or like our edge lacing. Well, the smallest is going to be best for our top grain lace, like the calf lace, or one of my favorites of all time, our deer lace. I love this. In fact, that's on both pieces here. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't do a lot of edge lacing. I just don't have I can't. I love doing the Spanish basket weave. I see that in a lot of our videos, but the edge lacing, that just takes a lot of time. Anyway, so our smallest needle, that's for our top grain lace and our deer lace. Next up is our medium. This is for, say, our Latigo laces, thicker laces, and then all the way up. Look at these big boys. Look at those, the jumbos. Now, say we're relacing like a ball glove, or we've got a distance to go through. Chainmail. This is one of my favorites for chainmail, and we've talked about that. But right here we've got two. So we've got a point and we've got a flattened end. Now on the round one, that's just got a small point on it. But the Permalock needles, again, okay, Best tip I can offer. When you order your permalocks, get 3. Okay, that sounds odd because you're immediately going to lose 1. Okay, so that leaves you 2, and you'll be good with there. Or the cat's going to knock one off the table. Anyway, okay, so we've done that. We were at 4 o'clock, and I cannot believe how fast this hour goes. That always surprises me. Y'all, thank you everybody for pitching in great questions, pitching in great answers, great comments, helping everybody out. What a family. I mean, no kidding. Our family spans this whole world, 7,200 of us. And that's just right now. That's just right now. But the fan page, again, it's on Facebook, Chuck Dorsett fan page. You know what? If you're new and you make your first project, put it up. You're going to see, you're going to get all kinds of confidence from people. You're going to get great tips. And they're not, oh, you need to. No, they're more like, oh, you know what? I would do in this. And you get so much information from it. And that's the point of these sharing information. We all get better at our craft. We absolutely do. Anybody that put in an answer or a tip, my personal thanks. Absolutely, my personal thanks and my personal appreciation to everybody that joins us on these. It is an absolute pleasure. I feel like once we hit 4, I'm kind of working into your time. So I'm going to leave this open for a minute. If there's something that you wanted me to see that I wasn't able to, this is why I talk so damn fast. We got so much to talk about, and an hour doesn't do it. I'm gonna leave this open. But also, folks, anybody, if you've got a question, you've got a project on your table and you've got a question, you can't proceed, go over to the fan page, ask that question, and you're immediately going to get some great answers. You certainly will. Love y'all more than you know. Love spending this time with y'all. Hope everybody has a good Wednesday evening. These things. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday evening. Second after Yuri. Great weekend. I think our time change is coming. Chris, you said y'all are across the pond going to do that also. I can't put them out because I can't read these like I want to. Anyway, so y'all love spending this time with you. Absolutely. We'll do this again in 2 weeks. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff to look at, talk about, and we'll see if we can squeeze all of it in. Thanks so much for making this what it is. Every person that's got a comment here, thank you. Absolutely thank you. So y'all, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great weekend. Oh, we can't leave without the right. Good luck with your projects. Yeah, there we go. All right. Love y'all. We'll see you soon. Bye.